How to find meaning. This is going to be quite the episode, isn't it? I think that purpose and meaning, all these buzzwords, are rarely operationalized. The gurus rarely ever tell you how to actually do it, how to actually find it. The closest I've ever found a so-called guru doing this properly was Hamza, right? He told you to go stare at a wall and meditate until you found the answer. Um, but I'm gonna try to make a video here that can kind of educate you a little bit more closely aligned with your life now. Something a little bit more realistic than staring at a wall for hours. Something that has gotten me has helped me make some progress towards this journey of meaning. And it might work for you, it might not work for you, but this has been my experience, this is what has worked for me, and I hope this can help at least somebody. All right, the first principle is to either stop or start working your ass off. So, what do I mean by this? I mean that there's two chronotypes of people. There's type A personalities and type B personalities. Type A is hyper motivated to work hard and achieve great things. And then type B personality is they feel like they should achieve great things, but they don't have the work ethic and they don't work hard enough. So the type B people have a work ethic problem, and the type A people have a, how do you put it? Take a break problem, chill out problem, right? So it depends on the type of person you are, right? If you want to find meaning, the type A personalities need to stop working their asses off, and the type B personalities need to start working their asses off, right? It's basically just solving the problems that each one has is the answer to finding meaning, right? If you are a type B person, if you're being completely honest with yourself, if you feel like you just kind of lay around, you're kind of lazy, you don't really feel motivated to do things. If you're looking for meaning, if you genuinely think that finding meaning is worth your time and energy right now in this stage of your life, then all you need to do is work harder. It's like literally that simple. Just work harder on something. Doesn't even matter what it is. Just work harder. And then if you're type A personality, chill out. Stop working so much. Take a step back. Zoom out. Slow down. Slow your roll. And allow your mind to just like marinate through the ideas. To actually appreciate the distance that you've traveled. Right? To actually appreciate what you've been through. What work you've done. Because when you're just constantly on the treadmill of work, you never take a moment to breathe and to actually ask yourself why you're on the treadmill in the first place, right? So for type A's, you're working really hard on something, but maybe that thing isn't what actually brings you meaning, and you're only doing it for like money or status, or because someone else told you to do it, or because you're just satisfying someone's expectations. There's always some kind of motivator there, and if you really want to search for meaning, you got to take a step back and ask yourself, what is motivating my action now? Like, why am I working this hard for this thing? And when you ask yourself that question, you'll find, scarily, that most things don't bring you meaning. Most things are motivated by some kind of external material or vanity aspect. Maybe it's something that everyone expects you to do, right? For me, this has been like going to university. Like, people expect me to go there, so I'm going there, and it's been tough to wrap my head around it. But I've been finding meaning through the experience, despite the fact that initially I had resistance to it, and so I'm staying. Right? It's not about cutting things out. I'm speaking to the type A here. It's not about cutting things out of your life just because it doesn't bring you meaning at this moment. It's about finding meaning through the doing of it. It doesn't matter how sucky or how bored or how painful the thing you're doing is. You can always find some nugget of meaning within that thing. You can always find it. You can always find something meaningful within it. I promise you, it doesn't matter what it is. You can always find something. And that's the beautiful thing, right? It doesn't matter what you choose to do. It doesn't matter what you do, right? I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do for work. There's always a way for you to find meaning in the thing you do. There's always a way for you to just take a step away and question, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And the answer to the why is the meaning, right? Even if it's externally motivated, that's okay. If it's internally motivated, that's okay. Maybe you're trying to prove yourself to somebody else. That's okay. That gives you meaning. It might not be the meaning that you're looking for, and that's okay because you can iterate. We can experiment with different things. And then for type Bs, right, the people that need to work harder, the reason why you don't feel like you have the level of meaning that you're searching for in your life is because you haven't really thrown yourself into something. You haven't bitten into anything yet. You haven't actually invested your time and energy into something. You haven't achieved anything really difficult, right? You haven't done anything hard. And so that's why I'm saying you just need to work harder on something. Just work really, really hard on something and see where that takes you. It doesn't matter what you choose. You can still find something out about yourself as a result of doing it. And so this applies both ways. This is the next principle. It's to reframe the way that you perceive meaning, right? So the way that I think will work for most people is to reframe meaning as the person that you become, right? The things that you do, the work that you put in, the relationships that you build. If you reframe those inputs as directionally aligned towards the identity and the person that you want to become, then no matter what it is you do, you will always, always, always make progress. You will always find meaning because you are the goal. You as a human being are the goal, right? And it's such a beautiful moment. It's such a beautiful moment whenever you realize that, holy crap, all this work that I'm doing for money, for fame, for status, I actually don't care about it. I actually genuinely don't care about this material outcome or the vanity of it. I just am so proud of myself for going through it. I'm proud of the fact that I've put in these hours, this blood, this sweat, these tears, and the person I've become as a result of it, I am in awe of. Like this person, I don't even know this person. Like he's so developed. He's made so much progress. And it's literally just you. For the type A's out there, like if you take a step back and stop working so hard, you realize how far you've made it, and you can take a moment to actually appreciate that. And it's a defining moment, to realize that you've actually put in the work and you've actually achieved something. Because the type A's are motivated by achievement. They're motivated by doing great things, by going beyond ordinary. And when you realize that your behaviors and your actions in your past have actually done that, and you see that and you can wrap your arms around that, it's so fulfilling, right? It's like, holy crap, the person I've become is this incredible person. And then by that same logic, the type B personality, once you start working hard, you can realize that, holy crap, I'm capable. I have the capacity to do great things. And look at the person that I'm becoming as a result of working hard now. Like, it doesn't matter what you're working hard at. I'm working hard on this thing, and it's like, I can do this. You feel alive. You feel like you can actually do something. You actually have contribution. And that's all the meaning you need, right? All right, enough about like the philosophical side of things. Let's talk about behaviors. Actually, it basically just boils down to some self-improvement stuff. Read more, journal more, meditate more, and then slow down, right? Slow down your thoughts, slow down the way that you go through life. You don't need to rush. We all are here, like existing as humans cognitively for like a blink of an eye in the span of the universe. But that doesn't mean that we need to rush to fill in that time. If anything, slowing down the way that you live expands it. It expands the horizons that you get to live and experience as a human. So that has been a huge reframe for me personally. Instead of just rushing, like I used to think that as I grew older, I was losing time to experience life, and that the older I got, the less opportunity to live I had. But the more I thought about it, I realized that you can never control time. You can never control how you age. You can never control the external variables. But what you can control is the way you perceive it, right? You can change the way that you perceive the world. When you change yourself, so remember our first principle, either stop or start working hard. When you change your behavior, you change your identity, and when you change your identity, you don't change the world, but you change the way you see the world. This is something that Alex Hormozi talked about. You don't change the world, you change the way you see the world. And this has been genuinely one of the best pieces of advice I've taken from Hormozi. It's this, right? It's the ability to not change the world, but change the way you perceive it by making yourself the goal. You yourself as a human being and the identity that you're creating is the goal. Going through hardship, working hard, going through pain, taking a step away, taking a break, recovering, stopping the work for a few moments. All of these efforts are to develop the person, right? It's to develop you, and you create meaning through whatever it is you do. It doesn't matter how painful it is or how sucky you think it is. You can find meaning in it because you are the goal. As long as you're getting better, as long as you're going through it, you are becoming somebody greater, and that is all the meaning that you need. And if you want to think about some small behaviors you can do, like I said, self-improvement, reading, meditating, thinking, for the type A personalities out there, the self-improvement, especially the ones on self-improvement, take a fucking hot shower. You don't need to take cold showers. Yes, I know. Andrew Huberman told you about the benefits of cold showers and cold exposure. Just give yourself a luxury for once. I used to take my cold showers very seriously, to overcome the flinch, to face your fears first thing in the morning, cold exposure, health benefits, all the things. But then I realized, why? Why do I actually care about that? And I realized that with my chronotype, with my personality, taking the time to appreciate the luxuries of life, to take a step back and look at how far I've come, to see my progress, has brought me so much more meaning, right? Because it changes the way I see the world. I don't change the world, because I've changed myself and I've improved myself, I perceive the world differently. And there's not a better feeling in the world than that. And I hope that this helps you find that for yourself. Goodbye.